So there's a story of a Jesuit priest who was blind. His name's Father Larry Gillick, and he was on a retreat in Wisconsin. And he was out there walking around in the middle of an afternoon. It was winter time, and he forgot where he was located exactly, and suddenly a winter storm started coming. And now he's out there, and he's lost the path, and he's in the woods, and he's not knowing what to do, and he's getting kind of scared because now all of a sudden it gets dark. And so he starts listening for any car noise to go find a road somewhere. And he hears a car in the faint distance in this direction, so he goes in that direction, through the woods, through the brush, getting all scraped up. Finally he gets to the place, and there's the road, a dirt road. Not many cars going down the dirt road. So he's there for quite a while waiting, until all of a sudden finally a car came. And he waved down the car, and the people opened up the door, and he got in, and he was a little bit worried, who could be out here on this dirt road in the middle of nowhere. And when he introduced himself, I'm Father Larry Gillick, I've been on a retreat, and I'm blind and I'm lost. And they said, "Oh, we're the messengers." And he said, "Oh, you're the messengers?" And she put her hand on his knee, and he started getting kind of worried, like, what is this weird thing? You're the messengers. And they said, "Yeah, we're Bob and Dana Messenger. We live at the end of the block down here." So, and this is a true story, but the point that he made was that he needed to be found. That he had to put himself in a place to be found. And so it is in today's gospel. Bartimaeus. He's sitting at the edge of the road, the edge of the city of Jericho. Now, Jericho is one of the hottest cities in the world. It's like 100 degrees down there. So I don't know what a guy is doing wearing a cloak by Jericho, but there he is on the side of the road, and it's burning. And he puts himself there to beg. This is where he could maybe get some money. You see the people on the streets, you drive down 94, you get off in the exit, and they're right there, right? Open for money. So we have the kind of Bartimaeus folks around. But this guy, he really wanted something. And he was willing to fight the crowd to get it. He was willing to push and shove a little bit. So he hears Jesus coming through, so he's in the right spot. He put himself in the right spot to be found. And he hears Jesus coming through, "Son of David, have pity on me." And they're all like, "Shh, shh, quiet. Quit disturbing us." He's like, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me, have pity on me." All the louder. Okay, he was determined. So finally Jesus caught and said, "Call him." Now Bartimaeus did something that may be kind of symbolic here. What Bartimaeus did, it says, he left his cloak and went to Jesus. And I'm going to use that as a little metaphor. He was going to leave behind the life he had lived for a new life. He would follow Jesus down the road, his whole life totally changed. Sometimes it takes a lot of courage. Even they said to him when Jesus called, they said, "Take courage. He's calling you." And so with courage, he let go of the cloak, maybe his only belonging, and he went to Jesus. Now Jesus said to him, "Your faith has saved you." He had faith, didn't he? I want to see. What is your request of Jesus today? Do you have a request? Is there something you're hoping for? Would you be willing to fight for it? Would you be willing to put yourself in the right place for it, to be found? I was meeting the other day with a woman. I just share her story because I was so edified. Okay, and this is maybe something you're not going to expect, but and it wasn't what I expected, but I'm at a reception of a wedding, which is a very beautiful wedding, and here I am sitting across the table from a woman, and she was telling me her story. And I asked her, "Well, how'd you get to where you are today?" She's about my age, about 50. And she said that she had a partner for 18 years. Now, she had a boyfriend in high school for 5 years, and it was very hurtful. She was abused by that. So in fear, she went and she got a partner, a lesbian partner, which she had for 18 years. Now, the partner, she said, was kind to her, wasn't hurtful. They had a friendship. But at one point, she said, she realized most of her relationships were disordered. There was something that was off. And so she decided that she needed to follow Christ. And if you will, she let go of a cloak. She said it was very hard for her because she had to get a lot of new friends. I was so edified by her courage to share her story. So I said to her, "What is it like for you today?" And she said, "Today I have joy, and I see in a new way. I have joy, and I see in a new way." Now Bartimaeus' eyes were healed, but something greater came to Bartimaeus. Jesus said to him, "Go your way," but in fact, he followed Jesus. That was a spiritual sight. And so now I just introduce it to you. Is there a cloak in your life that God says, leave behind? Is there something of an old life that God would invite you to leave behind for a newness? What do you want to ask of Jesus? Bartimaeus would fight for it. What would you seek?